that we're officially eliminated and we can actually move on from this dumbass era.
So a wrestling podcast. Got it.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another
Hey.
episode of No Other Pod. I'm Jimmy, and I'm back with my good friend Daniel Kooser. What's going on, my friend?
Bonjour to you, my friend.
Bonjour.
Nick had to step in, and got to tell you, people liked him better, so you got to step it up.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Nick's a
No,
good dude.
He did really well, and I
Good
was like,
job,
"Holy
Nick.
shit, we're on the radio!" Like that's what it sounded like.
He's probably more professional than either of us because he does
Got
this
a
for
good
a
voice
living.
for it. That's very true. He's been doing it for a bit, but
Yeah.
we got people wishing us like happy anniversary and shit, and I'm like,
I know.
What do you mean? Jimmy's not my soulmate. What are you talking about?
Well,
The podcast,
to be
bro. 8
determined.
years. Pretty
Yeah.
wild.
It's nuts. I didn't even I was gone in France for my brother's wedding, and so I saw that come through, and I was like, "Holy shit! It has been 8 years. This is right about that time when we started it because it was after that U.S. Open Cup win in 2017 that we did our thing in September. So 8 years later, man, I don't know. I mean, we've told the story of how it started a bunch of times before, but I don't know when we started it that I thought 8 years later we'd still be going strong week after week.
I mean, it's just part of the routine, right? Now it's
Mm-hmm.
just what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's just even when the team's bad, man, we're here. We show up, we talk about it.
Turns out they're bad.
Turns out they're not good.
It's not getting better right now. So we'll talk about that all. But what tomorrow currently will come out. I believe it's tomorrow that it comes out, or maybe later today. I don't know. What is time? I'm still jet lagged from France.
We'll probably delay it. We'll probably it'll probably come out tomorrow. Yeah, probably come out the day after this does.
Yeah. So I don't even know what day. I've been falling asleep at like 8 p.m. every night on my couch, and then waking up at like 3 a.m. and being like, I should probably go to my actual bed.
Are you back at work or no?
Yeah, I'm back at work. So I got back Friday night, but I've just basically been sleeping. And
Is this what people do when you do international travel? You're just messed up sleep wise?
It hasn't been this rough for me before. I don't know if I'm getting older. I don't
Well, you
know
are.
if I mean, I am getting older. I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was just there was a lot of emotion on this trip, like good stuff, but my youngest brother's getting married. My mom couldn't be there because she's got her early onset Alzheimer's, helping my dad get around. I'm giving speeches at the wedding. It was a lot. So, and it was good. It just took a lot of emotional energy. And then, then I'm walking 25,000 steps a day at Disneyland Paris for the following week after that, and then get on a plane. So I'm tired, man. It's been a long
I
week.
can imagine. You giving speeches, huh? That sounds
I had to
horrible.
give 2. I knew I was giving 1 because my brother told me, he goes, "I want you to give a speech at the reception," which I'm like, "I can do that. I got notes in my phone. I'm writing things down. I've bounced
Wow.
ideas off of people. I'm ready to go." And then at the rehearsal dinner, his now father-in-law, he's given a little speech, which to be expected. And he goes, "And we did a thing when my wife and I got married that we just went around and had random people say some stuff about the bride and groom. So let's start with one of Eddie's brothers." And Robbie, my middle brother, looks at me, and I look at Robbie, and I was like, "Well, shit, I guess I'm going." And so I had to
What?
kind of come up with something on the top of my head that I
On the
wasn't going to
spot?
say. Yeah. And I was like, and I can't say what I'm going to say tomorrow. So
Dude,
I had to come up with a speech right on the spot.
I'm mad at this man. Like that, I'd be like, I would look at Robbie and I would go, no.
It wasn't Robbie's fault. We both looked at each other and we were like, one of us got to do it. And I was like, I'm
Well,
the
for
oldest.
sure.
I guess I gotta do this.
I would look at this man and say, absolutely not. I've got a whole thing prepared tomorrow. Thank you. No, thank you.
I do think not to toot my own horn. I think I did a good job. The rehearsal dinner speech was a little bit more heartfelt. The reception speech, there was, I had some bits and there were some laughs and, got some chuckles from some people. The rehearsal dinner was a little bit more heartfelt. And I was proud of myself because I did get some awes out of the people that were there. So
See, I eloped and didn't have to do any of this nonsense, right? It's one of the smartest things in the world. But I am officiating a marriage this week, and for some reason, I'm the schmuck that said, "Yeah, I do it." No,
you got your bits planned.
Am I supposed to have bits? I am Father Coos, the officiant.
You should come out dressed fully as the priest from Princess Bride and just
Jesus.
marriage.
I've got a Mark Twain quote ready to go, you
There you
know?
go. Now, I don't think the officiant typically has bits. Now, like the
No, but he did
groomsmen or
ask
the brothers or whatnot, sometimes they got bits, but the
he asked if
officiant,
I wanted entrance music, though. And at first I was like,
Stone Cold,
"Dun, dun, 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 dun,
glass
I was
break.
about to throw him up, dude. I come in on an ATV.
You got your 2 kombuchas, and you're like, "Ah!"
Yep, just nuts, and the sleeves are, like, cut off on my tuxedo jacket.
Your jean shorts.
What am I supposed to wear, dog? What do I wear to this stuff?
I would assume you've talked to him about it.
I don't know, is he in charge of what I would wear? Like, I don't have to match the wedding colors or nothing. I'm not
No,
really
but I would
like
probably ask, like, "What would you like me to wear?"
I was just gonna wear, like, shirt, tie, and slacks,
I mean,
you know?
that's probably good,
Yeah,
but, you could I asked my brother, I was like, "What am I wearing?" And he was like, what that should be fine." And I was like, "No, no, no. It
yeah.
will be fine or it won't be fine. I don't wanna show up on your wedding day and have your wife be mad at me that I'm not wearing the right thing."
See,
So,
people get mad on wedding days. It's supposed to be such a celebration, and
it
people
was.
get so serious.
No, it was great. Nothing like, it honestly, it went about as perfect as it coulda gone. So it
Yeah.
went really well, and it was fun. I gotta lift Eddie up in a chair because it was the Jewish wedding, so in the
I saw
reception, I had
that.
to pick him up, and this man was terrified. He thought he
Bro,
was going straight onto the ground.
you didn't listen to the pod last week. I was already giving people the info that I saw on Instagram.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, because you and Eddie, yeah, you've seen it, and Eddie, let me tell you, the entire time, Eddie's like, "Don't drop me. Don't I'm gonna fall. And I'm lifting him up. I'm like, "Eddie, lean back. You're fine. We've got you. There's like 6 dudes here holding you up," and he's like clinging for dear life. And meanwhile, his wife's to his right, just having the time of her life, like, "Woo!"
oh my gosh, this
So,
sounds crazy and it all sounds expensive, but,
it wasn't cheap,
I'm
but it
glad
was
it was
fun.
fun.
Ended up at an Irish bar until 1 in the morning in the middle of France trying to watch a football game. That's a thing that happened.
Like the
So
Packers or something, or
USC, trying to watch USC
oh,
football in the middle of France at an Irish bar where I was doing shots.
till
So,
1 in the morning, that's commitment. Actually, you'd probably watch them till 1 in the morning here, depending on when they kick off.
yeah, it was supposed to be like a 3:30 local kick, but with the time difference, it didn't kick off until, and then it was delayed, so it was a whole thing. But
Wow, that's
but it was
wild.
fun. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Didn't get to see any soccer, international break,
Well,
and PSG was
yeah.
was, out of town, but it was fun.
True, good point. And no, didn't need to watch sporting soccer. All good there. Nothing interesting.
I was keeping up with the both sporting and the current while I was gone, but, I wasn't about to wake up at, like, 4 in the morning to watch a game.
Is
So,
that what it would have been?
yeah, it's a 7-hour difference, I think,
Hmm.
from Kansas City, so it's a 7:30 kickoff, so, yeah, it would've been, like, 3 in the morning, so,
Yikes. I
not
remember
doing that.
I did like text you in the evening or something, and you let people know when your notifications are silenced. And
I
what's the
do?
point? Yeah, it tells people when notifications are silenced.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know I did that. Well,
But you
that's
can also hit notify anyway, which
yell at
seems
this
like
bitch.
it seems like the douchiest thing to do.
It wouldn't
Like,
wake
I'm
me up even if you did.
right, but can you imagine that I just notified you because of some, like, wrestling meme I sent you?
It's
And
like,
you're like, "He woke me up for this shit?"
I wouldn't wake up. I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. I didn't realize that it tells people my notifications are silenced, but I guess that's good for people to know. But
Well, you
because
can turn
I
that
put it on
off.
sleep mode every night,
Yeah.
so
You can turn that off just like your red receipts, right?
probably. I don't know. You getting the new iPhone?
No, not this year. I'm an every 2-year kinda guy.
2 years? Okay, I might get it. I'm on the iPhone upgrade program, so
Don't don't worry, I did update to the new iOS and,
I
my
haven't
phone
even.
is now exponentially slower, so good times.
I should probably not do that, I guess. I was gonna say I should
Don't
probably
do it.
do it, and now you just convinced me not to. So,
I never wait, bro. Marissa always waits for, like, the first patch, and I
yeah.
never do. I'm always like, "Look at all my new stuff." It's slow, but it's fun.
It doesn't work and it's broken, but it looks cool.
Look how long it takes me to force close this app,
There
just
was there
good
was a
shit.
year where I did, like, the beta testing for it, and that was the worst
Ah,
idea because it was totally busted.
yeah,
So,
all the bugs, probably all the bugs. But
yeah.
it's I know you get it every year, and I probably should have because I did drop my phone in the bath, a few weeks ago, so that was good times. Remember that?
Well, yeah, you shouldn't do that.
It happens.
If I would recommend not doing something, it would be drop your phone in the bathtub.
Can you just imagine me taking baths? Like, what grown man takes a bath these days? It's like,
Just like scrolling through Instagram, holding it above, you just drop it.
yeah, bro. Better than in bed, and it hits you in the face.
The face. I've done
We've
that.
all done that.
I've done that. I was watching something the other day and I woke up at like 3 in the morning and my phone is still on this TikTok that's just been looping for like 7 hours and my algorithm is probably all sorts of screwed up now.
They're like, he really loves this TikTok.
Yeah. But
Amazing.
I don't know. But I'm glad to be back. 2 weeks is a long time to be gone.
Good,
So,
good.
glad to
And we
be
can
back. Glad
talk
to be home.
fun soccer, I guess. Or
Yeah.
no, that'll be tomorrow when you join me for currently.
That's right. Well, let me give a shout out here for the Chiefs fans. Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll be right back.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Are you ready for this? A little tidbit into my life last night.
Okay.
I get home. It's about 10:30. I'm a little tired. We're in bed, and I hear bzzz, there's a fly in our room. I was like,
Hate
oh
it.
my God, there's no way I'll sleep with this fly.
Nope.
So boom, I got the lights on, and I got myself a book because I don't have a fly swatter. I got a book.
Yep.
And I get this fly. I get him. I was like, great, I can go to bed. 3 flies emerge from somewhere.
Yeah, no, now that you've made the whole
3.
family mad.
Bro, and so I turn on a little lamp and I'm like, come to my lamp, come to the trap. And it takes me a while and I'm trying to swat him out of the air. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Is Marissa
And
asleep or is she just pissed?
she's trying to sleep. And she goes, just go to sleep. I said, I'm sorry. Are you used to sleeping with flies around your head? Like freaking Pigpen from Charlie Brown? Are you used to growing up with flies in your household? Because I'm not. All right. I didn't live in that environment. I threw my trash away. Anyways, I'm mad, and as I'm swinging the book, Bingo's cowering. I'm like, relax, dude. I'm not trying to hit you. My little dog, he's like so scared. But I got these bitches. I had to clean some fly guts off the wall, but I got it. 11 o'clock at night. I was up for 30 minutes hunting.
Just wait till tonight when the whole army comes.
See, that'd be insane.
Plotting revenge right now.
Are there babies? And there's times when Marissa calls, lets the dogs in. Hey, come on inside. And I'm like, if they're not coming in right away, you close the door. You close the door.
I gotta have a whole
in the barn, bro.
My problem is I got a motion light right outside my door. I got like a sliding door with a screen, and when it's dark outside, the motion light attracts all the bugs to the light. And if I have a light on inside my house, when I open the door, all these bitches try to fly in my house, and so I have to turn all the lights off in my house before I open the door to let my dog in, so they stay focused on the motion light outside.
It's the worst, absolute worst.
And then still somehow one got in last night, and I'm trying to watch TV, and I just. And it was bad.
Get the book. Get him with a book.
Well, I was worried about trying to hit it, but it kept landing on my TV screen because it's bright, and I was like, I can't do that.
Nope.
I'm not trying to break my LG OLED. So
that'd be bad.
Yeah, it's bad. So
it's gross. And that that like every time they land, supposedly they throw up. Like, I'm not a fan of that.
I've heard that. Our producer says he hates how they always manage to fly near your face. And we are going to talk about soccer here in a second because it is a soccer podcast. But I do have to tell you, something happened to me at Disneyland Paris that has never happened to me before in my life.
Why?
I'm walking to Phantom Manor, which is their haunted mansion. And I'm going by Big Thunder Mountain, and a goddamn bird flies by me and hits me in the face. A pigeon hits me in the goddamn face.
What the hell?
I was so mad.
Bad omen.
My cousin's walking with me because my cousin and his wife came to meet me for a day, and it flies right in front. He goes, "What the hell? The bird almost hit me!" And I was like, "The bird did hit me. It hit me in the face."
That's got to be good luck in like Haiti or something.
I don't know. I was mad, and then I was like, "Now let's go to the cursed haunted mansion ride and see what happens there."
Dude,
and we did get stuck on it for a little bit. But I'm alive.
Oh my God. Did you quarantine? You could be patient zero for like some new bird fucking.
It didn't break skin or anything. I think it was just like its wing like rubbed off my face. I was just like, I don't understand what just happened.
That's crazy.
I thought birds were supposed to avoid you.
Was that like to start your day?
No, it was like in the afternoon. But I was
pigeons don't avoid you, bro. Pigeons just come out of nowhere and they're like, "Hey, let's hang out." And you're like, "Get away from me."
Apparently French pigeons are just like, "Oh, smack you."
Oh, stupid American.
So anyway,
wow, that's a crazy story.
Yeah. So let's talk soccer on that note.
Hey, elimination
game
for your boys.
We've been talking about technically playoffs are still a possibility if you do this, if you do that, if this. We've known realistically playoffs haven't been in the conversation for a while, but mathematically it ain't over till it's over. Well, guess what? It's over. Sporting Kansas City put out this 4-2-3-1 lineup again, and there's still injuries that are being dealt with, and there's still, the back line's changing around, and we got Montez and Ian James trying to figure out what do we got there. Logan and Denbei and Kyrie Shelton there, and then Zorn Basong and Jake Davis in this double pivot. Santi playing that number 10 again because Manu was off the bench, and then Eric Tommy Shoppy and Daniel Viech. And man, I don't know. I was watching the replay of this game, and then I went and watched the highlights again because I was tired when I watched the replay of this game. And I forgot just how bad Sporting looked in this game. For the entire game, basically. It was not good.
Dude, we didn't first of all, we went down pretty early, as we're wont to do.
Mm-hmm.
I will say they had, I think it was Hispanic Heritage Night.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the branding, dude, they had like luchador masks.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's very cool. But it wasn't good from the get-go. And then I think I heard Kerry say this was their 33rd different lineup in 34 games or something like that. And I'm like,
whatever.
That's a serious thing, dude. That's a problem.
It is a problem. But honestly, at this point, I feel like how many times have we heard that in the last handful of years? Every year I feel like, well, it's because we've had 18 different lineups in 20 games or whatever. And I'm just like, then something's wrong with the roster construction. And that's not Kerry's fault. Kerry had no part in any of that. He's just here. Yeah. But something, whether it's the roster construction or the health and training or something, it seems like we have, and this is anecdotal, I'd have to go back and look at this, but it seems like Sporting Kansas City over the last handful of years, too many times has had injuries, been like, well, we've got 2 designated players that are injured. No team's ever had 2 designated players out, or all 3 designated players out at the same time, or there's always an injury excuse. And I'm getting kind of tired of injuries and, lineup turnover being an excuse, because what is Sporting Kansas City having to deal with that every other MLS team isn't? Because I don't think there's anything. So figure it out.
I know, man. And like you said, you're like, this isn't Kerry's problem. Like, yeah, that dude's just trying to hang on to a job, hopefully next year,
Yeah. And I think, I'm not breaking any news here. I don't know anything. I haven't talked to anybody, but I think it's probably pretty safe to say that it's almost certainly not going to be Kerry Zavagnin as the full-time coach next year.
That's a fair thing to think.
You got that new coach bump when he took over after Peter was fired. They won that first game against St. Louis. There was some good mojo, was feeling good, but he talked about, or you mentioned this first goal happened, barely a minute into the game. And Kerry, when he was asked after the post-game press conference, or at the post-game press conference about this early goal, he goes, we talked about coming out and being on the front foot. We were at home. We want to start quickly. It's my responsibility. We didn't start well. We didn't touch the ball before they scored.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Not even that it took them a minute and 10 seconds to score. Sporting did not touch the ball.
Well, that's fine. A minute and 10 seconds. It's early in the game. I don't expect if they have good possession, you can keep the ball for a minute and 10 seconds.
Sure, but everything about Sporting in that was just so lackluster right from the first kick. Like, Jake and Zoran are lackluster tracking back to try to cover for Logan and Denbei, who's farther up the field. But then Logan doesn't track back with his guy and just kind of stops running at some point. Montez can't get back there. This was one of the easiest runs I've seen a player do in a long time. He gets the ball and he just casually kind of runs halfway down the right side of the field, runs right into the box, and it goes, I don't know, I guess I should shoot, and just shoots it right past Pulskamp. And it's not really Pulskamp's fault, but this man ran untouched and unchallenged for damn near 50 yards. It gets a ball, nobody's around him, and easy peasy, goal. 1 minute and 14 seconds into the game, and Ocampo puts him up. It's unacceptable.
No, I mean, absolutely. But like, that's how we do. That's how we do.
It is. I'm just like sitting here watching the replay, and I'm like, there is so much space, and nobody is crashing down. Nobody, this is the problem. And this is why I don't think Kerry's going to get the job, or one of the reasons, is it just seems like there's no effort, really. Or maybe not no effort, but like it's a very lackluster effort. People aren't busting their ass trying to catch up to and stop plays on defense. People aren't really giving their all. It's like this team knows they're not going to make the playoffs, and so they're just kind of coasting to get to the end of the season. And that's not what you want, even if it's the case. That's not what you want when you're trying to coach for your job, and that's not what you want to see as fans. And quite frankly, it's not what you want to see when 17 of these players are out of contract and should be fighting for their jobs. But
yep, I just pulled up the contract situation right now. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah,
we'll have to have a whole podcast to get into that one of these days. But it's the next year is going to look a lot different.
I hope so. But what we don't know is like, yeah, there's like 17 players that could be out of contract or are out of contract in some capacity that could be gone next year. But will they realistically be able to get rid of all of those players? I mean, this is their chance to, but that's, damn near turning over more than 2/3 of the team, just about. And that's a whole game day roster almost. That's a lot of players to turn over. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do, or who's even doing it. We don't have our chief soccer officer yet. We don't know if Mike Burns is going to be around. We can guess Kerry's probably not going to be around, at least in head coach capacity.
Right.
So, but it wasn't even just that first goal. I mean, like, yeah, the half ended 2-0, but quite frankly, 10 minutes in, this could have been 2-0. And then, 30 seconds later, they had a third chance to score a goal. And then they had a fourth chance to score a goal. I mean, Vancouver had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity in Sporting's box. Did it feel, were you at this game or were you at the current game?
We were going to split games, and I'm like, they have an opportunity to raise a trophy here.
Right.
You made the right choice. Current. So we stayed there.
That was the right choice. But what I was going to ask was like, because on TV, it didn't feel like there was any sort of atmosphere whatsoever. So I'm assuming it felt just as flat in the stadium if you were at this Sporting game.
Right. I noticed that on TV as well when I was watching it through. Not beginning to end, mind you. I was just, bits and pieces, because who wants to watch this beginning to end?
It's just disappointing because Vancouver, I mean, they do have stuff to play for. They very clearly looked like a team that had something to play for. Sporting looked like a team that did not want to be there. But Vancouver didn't even have their first choice team. Thomas Muller wasn't playing.
Right.
This was not the A team that Vancouver has, and they made Sporting look like a USL team. And it's embarrassing.
Yeah, they made us look pretty stupid, is what they did. And to think that they had their top guys taking a seat is no respect to us.
On the road.
They're like, we're on the road against Sporting. Like, we don't need to risk things here.
No.
Crazy.
And even though you go down early 1-0, you think, okay, get to the half, at least 1-0, maybe try to tie it and you can do something. And again, they just give up way too easy of a goal in the 42nd minute. Pulskamp will probably say he should do better, but again, way, way, way too easy in the box just for Vancouver to move the ball around. No defensive movement. Nobody's crashing. I don't honestly know what Zoran Basong is doing here. I mean, I'm not saying this to be like mean or facetious, but like, he looked like a traffic cone, did not move his feet, didn't do anything, just stood there and watched Cabrera dribble right by him before he takes a shot on goal. So it's bad. It's bad.
It's all bad defending. I mean, Alan Montez looks a little slow, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of ball watching there.
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, I can't imagine his club option gets picked up, after watching him
Not
do
at
that.
not at this rate. I mean, maybe you say it's not totally fair to him because, like, he's thrust into a bad situation, but he's really tall, but he looks really slow, like you said. Like, he does there are some players that are tall and look athletic, like Ike Oparo was pretty tall, but still could move and was athletic. Um, Montez just looks like he has trouble shifting around, and he's just not able to be athletic enough, it seems, in the box to play with some of these other attackers that they're playing against. So,
Yeah.
um, I haven't seen enough from him to warrant picking up the option after this year. Santi, absolutely. Would love to exercise that right to buy Santi.
Yeah, that'd be
Montez,
great.
I'm not sold.
No, but like, man, we gotta find something. We gotta find a defender to
Mhm.
to slot in there because that back line has had no consistency all freaking year. And
Mhm.
dude, you missed it. They had so many opportunities to go up by like 4
Mhm.
in like the first 10 minutes.
Mhm.
I like you if you were watching this, you knew in that moment, you're like, oh, we're in trouble.
Mhm. And then they had more opportunity. Sporting really only had one opportunity in the second half. It was off of a free kick that Eric Tommy had, and then Manu put the rebound back in, and that was really the only time I recall Sporting forcing a save. But even in the second half, Vancouver kept pushing and kept forcing Pulskamp to make saves, and this, honest to God, could have been a 4-5-6-0 game had the ball just broke slightly different for Vancouver. And what's crazy is if you look at the expected goals on FOTMob, it's only 1.28 to 0.56. Feels like this is one of those cases where maybe the eye test is a little bit more real than the advanced analytics, because this was a complete and utter dominant performance, I would say, by Vancouver, and Sporting just was never in it.
And it should have been. You have two different teams in different places in the table. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
insane. So
Yeah. It's just it's super frustrating. Um, and like you said, he talks about, on the center backs, the 32nd different lineup in 33 games. Continuity is an issue. Um, he talks about Ian James' potential, but there's just nothing that I'm sitting there looking at and being like, okay, I'm enticed by that. Um, and Alan Montez, he was asked about him specifically, and Kerry said that if we would have been able to have the ball a little bit more, some of his strengths would have come out a little bit more when the game opens up. That's a little bit difficult on us, but I don't want a center back who, in order for him to be decent, requires your team to have the ball, because his entire point of being out there is to be the defensive anchor. So
yes.
if you need to have the ball for the center back to be decent, it's probably not a good fit.
Isn't a center back supposed to be good when he doesn't have the ball?
That's the whole point of being out there, is to try to hold down the back line and be that anchor to prevent the other team from scoring, and he could
Yeah.
not do that.
Supposed to be quite good without the ball. So I don't know, man. Definitely not sold on him. Someone who here's a question for you. Someone who's over 30 is Eric Tommy, and he's out of contract this year. But man, if he doesn't give a little spark when he's in the lineup, he has really good free kicks every now and then.
Yeah, he's one of the few where, like, I don't think there are some players that, like, I don't ever question their effort. Johnny Russell is one of those players where, like, I'm not ever going to question whether Johnny was trying or not. And Eric's that same way for me. Like, even after the game, he was asked about the motivation, and he just goes, "The motivation is to win games. We're soccer players. We have to be competitive. It doesn't matter if it's training session. I want to win everything." And so that is that German mindset that you see come out in him, and that fire. And sometimes it's to his detriment because he pushes too hard and tries to take over games in the same way that Benny Feilhaber used to try to do. But you're right. As a 30-plus-year-old player who's going to be on the downswing of his prime, who's on a team that has a long way to go to be competitive, does Sporting want to bring him back at the salary he's at? And does Eric want to come back to a team where it is far from a certainty that they're going to be any more competitive next year?
I know. It's insane, man. It goes back to like, okay, all those people that were yelling for Vermees out, and okay, that happened. Now
Mhm.
what? Now what's the plan? Are you Are you good now? Are you still watching the games? Are you still showing up? Because I'm looking at the audience right now, and I don't think you are. I think there's a lot of empty seats. You're lucky to sell these on SeatGeek, for God's sakes. You're not going to get your money back if you do.
No.
It's just a crazy situation.
Yeah, and I think it was clear at this point that there needs to be major change to this club, and there needs to be a new direction. So I think it was probably time or beyond time to make that move when they did. But so I'm not trying to say that they did the wrong thing by letting Vermees go, but this is what we talked about in the weeks, months, years leading up to that decision: is firing Peter Vermees is not going to magic switch this team to being better. It's the kickoff of what is likely a multi-year rebuild that, yeah, this offseason there's a chance to jumpstart it, but we have no reason to think right now that this team is going to have a 180 turnaround next year because there's just too many unknowns.
100%.
So let's take our second break here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about what's coming up this week. But we'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Man, I just want to talk about birds. You're talking all this soccer stuff, and I'm just like, so what did like that wing taste like?
Thankfully, it didn't go in my mouth. I would have been worried about rabies. I don't even know if that's how you get rabies. I would have been worried about hepatitis. I don't know if that's how you get hepatitis. Something had a damn French
so ignorant
wing went into my mouth.
You are sounding so ignorant right now.
Probably, but what kind of diseases can you get from damn street birds flying in your mouth?
I don't know, dude. You're just trying to live your best life. You're just like, I'm at the happiest place on earth. Oh, and this bird's like, fuck you.
Stupid American flying in my face.
Oh man. And I got Chris texting me from China, for God's sakes. Chris is in China.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like telling me how bad the food options are and stuff. But I guarantee you, as bad as the food options are, I bet he's not getting swatted with a bird.
I've been to China once in 2010, and I like the food.
Well, I think for vegetarian wise, I think everything is with like milk and egg and shellfish, and it's just tough.
I would guess that, yeah, that's probably more difficult
because he's veg. He's veg.
Yeah, the hardest thing for me, I remember because I was there on a college trip, and our hotel was attached to like a big mall in Shanghai. And I remember our hotel rooms weren't ready, so they were like, "Go get some food, come back, and we'll meet here at this time to get the rooms all ready." And we all go sit down at a restaurant, and for whatever reason, it didn't click with any of us until that moment that like, oh, none of us speak Chinese, and this isn't the same alphabet, and we can't even begin to pretend to understand what's happening. And none of the waiters spoke English, and so we could only order what we could point to that was in pictures. And
now your AirPods can translate it.
Now,
or
bro,
soon.
The iPhone 4 had just came out, and I literally tried to stand in line for like 12 hours to get the damn iPhone 4 before I got on that plane to go to China, and I had to leave to go to the airport because it was not moving fast enough, so I didn't get it.
Oh my gosh.
Mad. Now I just order it online, it comes to my house.
Easy enough.
Yeah, but I don't know. So Sporting loses, no surprise. It is what it is. I mean, Vancouver's second place in the West. They're probably not going to win, but reasonably in the hunt for the Supporter Shield. They're 5 points back, but they have 2 games in hand, so they could make up all 5 of those points and jump Philadelphia for the Supporter Shield.
Sure as hell could.
So losing to Vancouver in a vacuum isn't necessarily a bad thing, but
we're supposed to lose to them.
Right, but Sporting are one of 2 teams in the Western Conference that are officially eliminated from the playoffs. It just so happens that other team is worse than us, and the other team is the LA Galaxy, who we play this week. So the worst game of the MLS week? Probably. Will anybody not in LA or Kansas City watch this game? Probably not. Will anybody in LA or Kansas City watch this game? Debatable, but it's a game that's happening. So what are you looking for, or what do you expect from this game from 2 teams that are the only 2 teams in the Western Conference that have been eliminated so far?
Well, first off, there's a wrestling PLE that night, so I will be watching that. So I'm glad
Which one?
No Mercy.
Oh, is that the NXT one? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hold on, they just had one.
The one that's still on Peacock, so It's worth watching. But SKC's at 9:30, so it's like, hey, what a night, man. Of course I'm going to step and watch this game. But I'm hoping we get a victory. I'm hoping we get something. It's not great that St. Louis is better than us. I don't like that. My therapist is a St. Louis fan, so we're always commiserating about how bad our teams are.
Yeah. I mean, how many weeks now have we been hanging our hats on? At least we're better than St. Louis, and now the wheels have fallen off that too.
It sucks when that's what you got to hang your hat on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing. There's no silver lining to this season. I mean, we have in our since the 4th of July, we've won 2 games, and they're both against Colorado. So if you're looking at 3-7, we've won 1 of our last 10 games, and we've drawn 1 of them. So we're 1-8-1 in our last 10 competitive games. That's bad, bro. That's Peter Vermees. You're gonna get fired bad.
Do you so the power rankings just came out today, and they got, for reference, they got Vancouver at number 1 on the power rankings. If that puts into reference what we are,
perspective.
And 27th.
Yeah.
So John Polskamp, though, man, 3rd most saves in MLS this season. That's a thing. That just means he's faced a lot of shots.
Yeah. And look, if there's a silver lining, I think that Polskamp has earned another year. Can I sit here and say that Polskamp is the goalkeeper for the next 10 years at this point? Probably not. Has he done well enough behind a truly terrible back line to hold his own and say he at least deserves another year as being the number 1? Yeah. Unless you can, for whatever reason, sign a guaranteed success at goalkeeper, but that is not anywhere near the top of my wish list for this offseason as goalkeeper.
We're absolutely in the hunt for the wooden spoon, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like 100%. It's kind of between LA and Montreal right now, but like there's no realistic way we couldn't get it, as we're in that running as well.
If LA beats us this weekend, it becomes a much more likely scenario that we could win the wooden spoon. Lose to win the wooden spoon? Lose the wood. You know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I don't want it. You don't
want
that
it either.
Thing.
It's just we're on pace to end this season with less than a point per game, and that's pretty frustrating. So if you look at Sporting last year, they were at 0.91 points per game, and they ended the season there. Right now, we're sitting at 0.87 points per game. So we're sitting worse than we did last year. And 2 years ago, it was 1.29 points per game, and that was barely enough to squeak into the playoffs. 1.18 points per. I mean, I'm going back. It was 2021 was the last time that we had above 1.2 points per game. It's been 4 years.
Oh, we got to cancel this podcast. We've been bad since we started it. I think it's been downhill trajectory year after year.
We haven't won a trophy since we started it.
I know. It's a bad deal.
But
I'm not having fun. And you know what? We might not have to. They're gonna kick us off, guys, because the team's so bad. They're like, well, we can't have you on our network. They're gonna get rid of us. Please keep listening to us. Please rate and review us. Please, Papa.
Support us, please.
Please.
But we'll try to find ways to make it interesting this offseason. We'll try to do interviews. We'll try to get people on. We don't know who to interview because we don't know who's going to be on the damn team, but we'll figure it out. So
we'll take anybody. But we used to have people asking to be interviewed on our show. Do you remember that? We had people reach out, and I was like, "What is happening? This is someone's agent. This is weird."
Yeah, I know. LA last week, they did play Vancouver. I wouldn't say tough. The scoreline looks better than the game was. It ended 3-2. Really, they got a goal in stoppage. It was 3-1, and then they made it 3-2. But that was at home against Cincinnati. I think I said Cincinnati. Yeah, that was against Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's a really good team. They're in that Supporters Shield conversation. So LA certainly has the ability to play Sporting Kansas City well. It's not necessarily an easy place to play for Sporting Kansas City. I don't think there's any way I can reasonably sit here and say, as bad as the Galaxy are, that I can expect Sporting to get any sort of points out of this game. They still have players, Joseph Paintsil, Marco Royce, Gabriel Peck, Christian Ramirez, who can punish Sporting KC in the attack and score goals, even if they haven't been doing it consistently this year. So I don't know, man. I'm not holding out a lot of hope for this game. And then after that, Sporting, all that they got left is just a couple more games on the road at Minnesota, and then the one more home game on decision day against Houston at the end of middle end of October. And then that's the end of Sporting Kansas City soccer until 2026.
That's it. And then we can watch some good soccer. We can watch some playoffs, some Premier League,
That's right.
It's good stuff.
Got the NWSL regular season champions already. Talk more about them on Currently. The earliest that any NWSL team has ever secured that. That's crazy.
Hell of a deal.
Yeah. It's a weird dichotomy in Kansas City soccer right now when you have and we'll talk more about this. By the way, Demois, 17th in the Ballon d'Or. What the hell is that?
Kind of weird.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
I know I'm biased, but that pissed me off.
Pretty rude,
I was mad. So, but I don't know, man. It's not been great. There's rumors swirling about Sporting Kansas City. Andrew Wiebe a couple weeks ago was like vaguely hinting that like there could be players who get transferred out, and was basically insinuating that Dejan Jovic could be of interest to other teams. But
sure, you could say that in anything. Guess what? The sky is also blue. You know what I mean? Like players get transferred. Yeah, they could happen.
Yeah. He's by far and away the best player on Sporting Kansas City right now, and Sporting Kansas City's a bad team. So it would probably be malpractice if other teams weren't calling about Dejan Jovic. But I don't expect that Sporting KC will want to move on from their best player when they're trying to rebuild and have the opportunity to rebuild their defense rather quickly.
Be cool to build around him. Be a lot of fun.
It would be very fun. There is potential with this attack. It's just you got to get everything else going. So we'll see. So you got anything else sporting related that you want to talk about here? I mean, outside of sporting, it's just, there's more MLS games to talk about. That, Seattle, Vancouver, that's a pretty interesting one this week. But
I gotta read Chip's thing.
Chip, I've been gone for 2 weeks. I forgot that
you've been gone for a bit. That's a thing that we do here. You've only missed one podcast though.
I've only missed one because we recorded early, but I've been gone for 2 weeks. So.
That's right. Hit the music, Nick. Oh man.
Ooh.
He had it ready, didn't he?
Ooh.
Welcome back, Jimmy, from France. Jimmy's back. He was hit with a pigeon in the face, but now he's back in Kansas. Just kidding, he lives in Missouri. It's time for the chip shop. Chip shop. Chip shop. The chip shop. Chip shop. Chip shop.
A little bit of like 90s Euro pop.
Kind of lost it for a minute. Like the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
Chip says, and with that, on the same night that the Kansas City Current set the record for clinching the NWSL Supporters Shield and the fewest percentage of games played in a season, Sporting Kansas City is officially eliminated from the 2025 MLS playoffs. Vancouver didn't have Mueller in their lineup, but it turns out they didn't need him to hand SKC another loss. Let's discuss. Sporting went another game with a lackluster offense, getting only 0.6 XG on 10 shots with only one of them on target. A 0.04 XG shot by Eric Tommy in the 67th minute off a free kick. But the offense was also extremely backloaded. Of those 10 shots, only 2 of them happened in the first 45 minutes. Another growing hallmark of SKC offense. Have little to no offensive production in the first half, following by a giant game of catch-up in the second. In the entire game, only one shot for SKC ended up over 0.1 XG, and that was a shot by Santi Munoz in the 61st minute, which clocked for 0.18 XG. On the flip side of that, Vancouver had 12 shots, 4 on target, and 1.2 XG for the game. But once the second half hit, they cooled all their jets, attempting only 2 shots in the last 45 minutes. I'm glad we got to see more of Santi Munoz this match, as he got his 6th start in 7 matches. I do think that he provides some creativity in the attack, which we were missing before we joined the club. But especially as SKC finished last season 8-7 and 19, and we are currently 7-6 and 18 with 3 matches to go, this feels insanely similar to how things ended last season. While I don't suspect that any SKC fans thought we were going to magically turn the season around, there is a certain level of finality in having us mathematically eliminated. The run we had starting in April, where we won 3 out of 5 matches, felt nice, but I don't think I saw any massive changes, which would indicate a massive turnaround, especially for a team that went the entire season without winning 2 games in a row. At this point in the season, Cincinnati and Philadelphia have won as many games as SKC has lost, but no team has lost as many as we have. And to make matters worse, St. Louis just won their 2nd game in a row, leapfrogging us for the coveted 13th place spot. Next up, SKC is away at the LA Galaxy, literally the only team below us in the table for the West. Problem is that the Galaxy have recently had a halfway decent run of form compared to the rest of their season, getting 1.0 points per game in their last 5 matches compared to SKC's 0.6. The Galaxy are 4-2-8 at home this season compared to SKC's 3-2-10 away record this year. Could this be the match that gets us to 8 wins on the season? The Galaxy have been scoring in their last few matches, not being held scoreless in league play since early August. They will be without Isaiah Parente, though, their midfielder who received a 2nd yellow in the match against Cincy over the weekend. He isn't exactly a starter for the club, starting in 9 of 27 matches he's played this season, but he has clocked over 1,000 minutes for the Galaxy this season. What'll happen in LA this coming weekend? Time will tell. So I'm actually thinking we lose.
Probably.
That's what
I mean, he's right. There is a level of finality that hits when you're officially mathematically eliminated, even though we all knew it wasn't going to happen. It just sucks, especially when it happens a month before the season is done. And you're like, in years past, at least we've gotten to decision day and we're like, at least we have something to play for. And, not much right now. So
not much, but not like, might as well put it at 9:30. Maybe we can fall asleep during it.
Yeah, there you go. How early I've been falling asleep, there's a legitimate chance that I might fall asleep halfway through this game.
Could happen.
We'll see. But Chip, we appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to talk about this week?
That's it, man. Let's wrap it up. It's dinner time.
That's it. It is dinner time. I'm hungry. Thank you all so much for listening. I'm glad to be back. Dan, thank you for holding down the fort. Nick, thank you for holding down the fort with Dan while I was gone. Make sure you leave us that 5-star rating and review. And honestly, let us know what you want us to do this offseason when Sporting is going through this hopeful rebuild. But let us know who you'd like us to talk to, whether it's with the club or somebody outside the club. Happy to take your advice there. Make sure you follow us on social at NoOtherPod, at Dan Kooser, at JCMac03. Send us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com, or check us out on YouTube, KCSN Soccer, or via the Kansas City Sports Network app. But until next time, he's Dan. I'm Jimmy. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.
Pigeons or pricks?